this will blow your mind. If you thought you knew CSS because you can send ID with Flexbox and create, well, I have news for you. You don't know CSS just yet, because this project I'm about to show you were built with only CSS, and it's mind-blowing. Let's start with the first one. And how was this done? How did this person even come up with this idea, let alone build this? And look at this right here. We have our only CSS project. One thing I can see right here on line 1 is there's an import for compass /css3. Is that a library? Is that a library that you used in building this? But the title here says pure CSS, CSS only, and we have all this CSS code, and we have this .positioner class, which is what we have right here on line 3 of the HTML file, which is Haml. Haml is a templating language. And then this is what we have right here, position. And you know what, I'm not going to go into this CSS because we have so many other awesome projects right now and I don't know CSS. So let's see the next one. Oh, people are really building incredible things with just CSS. And okay, this is familiar. I know HTML at least. And we have our HTML right here. We have how many divs? About 3 divs, 1, 2, 3, or 4, or thereabout. I think that's a lot more divs. But then this is the HTML file with 13 lines of code, and then we have the CSS file with 195 lines of code. This was a lot of work. This was a lot of work. So wow, so the ears were built separately. We have the .ear class, and I guess that's what we have right here on line 2 and then on line 3, and before and after pseudo classes, and then we have all the styling for ear. And to be able to get this, and then the animation, so there's also probably a keyframe right somewhere here for the animation. Okay, that's right here on 98 for the blinking eyes, keyframe blink, and then at 0 height 0, at 0% height 0, 90% height 0, and then 92.5% to 100%. We have the blink of 92%, 95 you're not blinking. I mean, this is understandable. It looks more familiar to me than what we saw before. But then wow, I can't imagine myself sitting down to start building this. I mean, you could give it a go, give it a shot. Let's see what we have. Okay, this was done with just CSS. Is this possible? There's no JavaScript right here, no, and there's no SVG. Is there any SVG? I don't see any SVG. I wonder what so this is also Haml. I've not worked with Haml before, but it's a templating engine, templating language on top of HTML, I guess. And so I think these are various classes for the different solar systems, the different solar systems. Is that the yes, different solar systems, the different planets for Mercury, Venus, Earth, Sun, and all the rest. And okay, so this is the HAML file. And when we scroll down right there, so we have a text that says revolution of planets in Earth. Okay, and then years and second. So these are CSS variables used to define the years and second as 30. I guess this is going to be used severally in the application. So if we search for this, do we get that with CodePen? Oh, I doubt that. How do I get rid of the search? I can't get rid of the search anymore. Sorry, we'll have to just stay with this. And this is it. This is, how many lines of code was this? Wow, this was done in 375 lines of code. This is lovely. This is lovely. I wish I could put this in full screen. I don't know how to do that right here on CodePen, or if that is even possible, but this right here is lovely. I know this is not the first one on CodePen, but I'm space and physics lover and I wanted to create mine. Here's a true time scale solar system, which means that every object has a time relative to an Earth year. Impressive. And you can change the number in seconds of the year in seconds variable to increase the speed of revolution. So let's try that. Let's change year in seconds. Does this search work? Year in seconds is 30. If we make this 90 and let's save that, okay, so I'll have to log into CodePen to do that. I'm not going to do that right now, and maybe that works, but let's see the next one. Again, we have CSS only for this. CSS is doing incredible things. I'm not sure at this point whether we need graphic designers anymore. Everyone should just learn CSS. Of course, it's easier to do with just, you know, your graphic software. But then it's amazing to see this done with only CSS. People are creative. So this is a coffee machine, right? And then we have coffee into the cup. I don't think this will be clickable since it's just CSS, but it's impressive what CSS is used to build these days. And right here, okay, so we have several keyframes for the animation. This is the keyframe for the smoke, and we have this at 0%, at 40%, 80%, 100%. And then the second smoke, is there like smoke 1, smoke 2, smoke 3, smoke 4? There is. So how many smokes are here? I guess that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should have about 5 smoke keyframes. This is impressive. Who did this? Henrik Rodriguez. I just realized I've not been mentioning the names, but you probably seen it. So Henrik Rodriguez, good job. Okay, another CSS only. This is an envelope. Yeah, I knew that there had to be something else apart from just this. So you hover on it, and then the envelope opens up. That's amazing. That's pretty amazing. And can I drag this? Oh yeah, we can do that. Look at that. We can drag it. And this is really with just CSS. How was the positioning done, the dragging? Can I even find it? I told you I don't know CSS. Because what is all this? Like, just can't sit down and start doing this. This is, people have time and creativity. Very important combination. Time with creativity. And look at this right here. So is there anyone for active probably? Should I even try, or should I just give up at this point? Then trying to understand how this moves. How does this move? This is pretty impressive. And the next one right here, and this is just CSS. This is just CSS. Is there any hover effect this time around? No. But how does someone sit down to draw this with just CSS? Alberto, it's impressive. You thought you knew CSS, but look at this. Can you draw this with just CSS? Can you give it a shot? If you do give it a shot, please send me a good and I'm going to take a look at it. So right here we have the CSS variables. I wonder how many people have started using CSS variables, because I look at many code bases and I don't see CSS variables, although many people that use SCSS, like people that are ready to use variables also. So you can see that with people writing SCSS, but how many beginners, people writing CSS, learn about CSS variables these days? You should, because it's very, very useful, CSS variables. And we have the different style. How many lines of code? Wow, I knew that this would take a lot of CSS code. So this is 379 lines of code. And of course you have keyframes for the animations. Again, this is for the spin animation. What's the spin? What's spinning? I think it's probably the tail of the helicopter, if that's the right word. That should be what's spinning. And let's do the next one. Okay, so we have a button. It's a regular button. Is there anything that's going to happen when we hover on it? Guess what's going to happen? I don't know. Let's see. No. Oh, we can click this button on CSS and have this. Huh. I mean, I thought we could only do that with JavaScript. Look at that. You can click a button with just CSS. There's no JavaScript. There's no JavaScript. So we can click a button with just CSS and have this animation. But that's amazing. That impressive. Dead pixel. Impressive. Okay. What do we have here? Pure CSS. This was drawn with just CSS. I mean, if I were to build this application with this kind of things, which I can do, I do in some of my applications, but I don't use CSS. I use SVG for this because it's much simpler to do with SVG. But people doing this with CSS, it's impressive. It's impressive. Is there any animation going on here? Yeah, there is. Look at that. And is this really with just CSS? Yeah. There's no JavaScript. Is there JavaScript? No. There's no JavaScript. And we have all these click events. Is there really no JavaScript? That's impressive. Please let me someone check this out. And after this video, I'm gonna understand how they're doing all these click events with just CSS. Interesting. I know that I don't know CSS. I'm sorry. Okay, what's this next one? Okay, what's supposed to oh wow. Huh. I mean, okay, he was like, or she was like, this is Vincent. So Vincent was like, how far can I go? How far can I go with this CSS hover effect? What was the limit? He asked. And here we have that right here. It's like, okay, I can go this far. This is amazing. Can we change the colors too? I guess I'm guessing we're supposed to be able to change the colors, but maybe it's still work in progress, or maybe there's something happening that is making us not able to do that. Oh, 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 you can click on it. Oh, oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. This he went all in. Like, this is amazing. This is amazing. Look at that. Come on, Vincent. Vincent, would you please teach me how to write CSS code? This is okay. I mean, don't get demotivated if you're just learning HTML and CSS, because I don't know. Even if you're building Facebook, you wouldn't need this skill. This skill is good for, like, you just, if you have this skill, you should feel on top of the world. Actually, it's not like this skill is going to make you millions, but this skill is going to make you feel so good about yourself. Like, I can do this with just CSS. This is amazing. This is amazing. I love this one. I'm going to save this one in particular to reference again and again and again. And what do we have right here? So we can, yep. We've seen this, all this click with just CSS, and I go over to the HTML to check if there's anything like a button, but there's nothing like a button right here. It's just CSS. You click, you get this animation, and this is just CSS. And let's do the next one. Okay, we have a Windows game. Is this really with just CSS? Is there any library that's I think, can you, okay, this is a game. Wait, did I win? I don't understand this game. So I don't know what I think. Is this Sudoku? Probably, but I don't know how to play this game. I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't think you can win it. Can you win this game? No, sorry. Okay, this was, wow, amazing. I'm impressed. At this point, I should just stop writing code, because there are people in the world that can do this, and what am I doing? I guess I need to rethink my career choices. I'm just joking. And by the way, like I said before, these are really impressive skills. It won't make you millions, but it's going to make you feel so good about yourself, because to be able to do this with only CSS, you need a lot of creativity and you need a lot of time. And kudos to everyone we've seen right here building with just CSS. We had this from Rafael, Dead Pixel, Alberto, Jake, Henrik, Malik, Johan, and Atudo. And wow, I'm impressed. So have you got any other CSS projects that I'm going to look at and think about my career choices? Just let me know, and I'm actually going to look at them. So send me your awesome CSS projects. I need to check them out, because I'm sure that there are a million of that awesome CSS projects out there that are waiting for me to fix, to set my eyes on them. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and help me destroy the like button. And destroy the like button. Then you say hello in the comment section, so that I'll see your face. Bye.